Hello everyone, happy Independence Day. And honestly, you will not even understand what this means to me, just being able to say happy Independence Day with so much joy in my heart. Last year I couldn't do this. After 2020, the killings at Lekki toll gate, I was just broken about Nigeria. For me, I was really down. And I'm one person whom, whenever they're singing the national anthem, I stand up. The words mean so much to me. Even as a child, I always listen. It's like from my heart, I listen to those words. And when I see soldiers, when I see police uniform people, I always walk to them. I always thank them for what they're doing. It's something I always do. I always, respect them. I see, this uniform, especially for soldiers, you're putting your lives on the line. And every time when the insecurity started, anytime I see them, uniform, I give them this maximum respect. But after that October 2020 massacre, never. I'll just see a soldier, just first of all, because it took me so much years for me to. This is not the original video I wanted to do. I wanted to actually do my daily countdown and also the Constitution, but this is taking a different dimension. I think I'll just let this flow. I'll do another of that video again. As a child, I grew up hating uniformed people because I grew up in the era of military, and I saw how people were being devastated. People were being attacked. People were being beaten, dragged on the street, dehumanized. You see someone, they will throw you on the floor, you roll on the floor, they throw you in gutters. I still remember as a child of like 10, 11 years, there's this man who was selling meat. And I think that was during the war against indiscipline, Buhari, at one time. And they wanted to have traders off the streets, hawkers off the streets, shops off the streets. Almost all shops in Kano were taken down. And my parents had a shop at Bello Road, for those who are familiar with Kano. And it was one of those shops that, I think there were like two that were taken down. It was attached to Chalaram, so they had built it a bit in, so it wasn't like popping out. And somehow our shop was spared. My parents used to sell ice cream. We had ice cream selling this place in the 80s, and it was quite a very popular place, thriving business. My parents were really doing so well, and there were a lot of people that would come in and buy these things when they come in from Europe, like Westerners. They always like, oh, when they come to my parents' place to get their ice cream, it's like the one they take out there. So I grew up in all of those Ajebo kind of setting, because before, of course, my dad lost everything. And he became, he had nothing. So that's not what we're talking. So about today. So let me just focus on the main business. So I have this anger at uniform people. And then as I grew up into adulthood, I started working on that anger. Like, okay, let me not use my. Then I got to a place where, okay, just basic respect for them, for what they do. So I take my time out to salute them, greet them, talk to them, encourage them. But after that 2020, October 2020, Lord have mercy, I was just like, that was the national anthem, the everything. But today I woke up with such a beautiful feeling in my heart. And I see we're fighting. So we've had, I just come to the realization that we've had 62 years of independence. It's independence from the colonialists that we've had. So what we need to do now, and which I see happening, is us getting independence from the bad rulers that we have. And that's what Nigerians are taking part in. So for me, it's a beautiful thing. And I look forward to next year when we celebrate October 1st, 2023. By the grace of God, we will see that we will start our first independence from bad governors, first independence from bad rulers and corrupt rulers that have kept us that. And that's such a beautiful thing to look forward to, and I'm really elated, and I'm really happy, and I hope you are joining me and millions and millions of Nigerians on this journey as we go on. It's not going to be easy, no doubt about it. It's really going to be hard. There are certain times that you question even your own sanity. You question why are you doing this. There are times that you're going to be broken. There are times you're going to cry. There are people that you call friends that you realize you're not really friends, that will come after you. There are people that you call enemies. You realize at the end of the day you have so much more in common that you can work together and you can trust them on this journey. You'll be broken, you will see all sorts of things, but the most important thing is to remain focused and continue to go. We're already on that path. A lot of people's minds have been emancipated. As horrible and as sad as October 2020 was, the death our slain heroes will not be in vain, and we are saying it right now. Their spirit is hovering all over us in this country, and they're pushing us on to keep going and not stop. And so it's something that we all must take on and continue with this fight. It wasn't over. There was an emancipation. There was a freeing of the mind. There was people getting to understand that indeed they have been held down for so long without they even understanding. Stephen Biko said something. He said that the greatest weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So all this while they have kept Nigerians oppressed. They have had a hold over our minds. They have told us that we are not capable. They have told us that we cannot do anything. They have told us that we are not enough, that the injustice, the bad governance, the killings, the insecurity, the corruption, the bribery, the lack of the development, the lack of good quality education, the lack of good healthcare system, all these things that they've done, they do and give us. They've told us that is our portion. That is what we are deserving of. And we believe them. But right now, citizens have woken up. Citizens now realize that indeed that's not our portion. Indeed, that's not what we are deserving of. We are deserving of more, and that we have rights, and that we are citizens, and that we are the number one. We have the number one office in this country, and that if we all occupy our office of the citizen and work towards a common goal of having good governance, accountability, and transparency, that we will get the nation that we are yearning for. And so it's something that a lot of people are getting into. They're occupying their office of the citizen. So it's amazing. So we've taken away the weapon of the oppressor, right? The oppressors, that's why you see them, they are flustered, they're wicked, they don't know what to do, they're talking left, right, and center. They're afraid, oh, you don't have structure, you don't have the citizens can't, but they're afraid of the thing that they say doesn't have structure. So it's an amazing thing that it's happening, and let's keep going. Let's not relent. We have 148 days to make this happen. Or is it 147 days to make this happen? And by January 25th, by February 25th, 2023, we will have opportunity for us to be heard loud and clear, and that's what is most important. Let's not focus on what they are trying, any shenanigans they bring out. Let's just put our eye on the ball and let's keep going. And you know, the light at the end of the tunnel is so bright. It's so bright. It's blinding. We are going to go over there and we'll see a new world. We'll see a Nigeria that will work for everyone. Honestly, there is suffering in the land. People are suffering. People are suffering. It shouldn't be. You get broken. Every day you get requests. You get to a place you have to turn some people that sometimes you're angry because you're like, why only me? Why are you leaving your government? Why are you not going after your government? Why are you not telling them to do the things they need to do? You see persistent calls. You see people sending you text messages, sending you emails, sending you this. Oh, I am this. I am sick. I need hospital. My wife needs to give birth. They're going to the operation. What do? You know, you're the only one. You're like, what? Sometimes I get angry. I'm like, what do you guys want? Do you want somebody to die? Do you want somebody to die with all of these requests? And then, of course, you have people who have their sense of entitlement. They feel that, oh, they're the only ones doing it. Because I'm like, oh, there are so many of you. It's so tiring. The things that you don't need to do. Like I always say, I don't want to help anybody. I want people not to need my help. It's not too much to ask for. It's not too much. And so the light at the tunnel will be blinding. It will blinding all of us with the goodness that we are going to see in our country. By the grace of God, we will work hard and ensure that the good people get into office. And when they get into that office, we're not going to walk away. This thing that have started, this office of the citizen that we are all occupying, we are not going to allow these people just enter there and go away. No. I'm going to hold them accountable so that they will do everything they can to give the Nigeria the best that the Nigerian deserves. And when we get there, we'll be so shocked and surprised at what we can achieve as a nation. I was telling you, we were discussing Nigeria yesterday with myself and my husband. And we talked, I was like, look, Nigerians will be so shocked at what can really be done within 4 years. We've been taught so many times that things cannot happen. This is a lie. It's a deliberate lie from the pit of hell to keep us down. And it has been done repeatedly again and again and again, and we've believed. I will never forget that they told us that GSM was not for poor people, and we believed them. I'm amongst those people who believe. I remember even when we got married in 1990, they would be telling my husband, there was this colleague he had who had a son like maybe in his early 20s or something. We say, he said in UK, that you just go and buy phone, you put it, you'll be looking at it, like, my husband was like, it's his son, who do you want to be? We believed. They would tell us that that Ghanaians, that somebody in the market owner will have phone. We believe. In Nigeria, it was 090. You know, they were the 1% of the 1%. They were oppressing us with that phone. We will see them, we will look at them, you know, that kind of a thing. Until it took just a change of policy. What did Obasanjo do to bring that phone? It wasn't rocket science or something that could be done, but because they are wicked, they are mean, they denied us that. See what, just imagine not having mobile phone. There are a lot of other things also that can open up the floodgate of everything you can think about, development, employment, whatever it is. Yet they are denying us, and it's not that it's rocket science to bring it to a little bit of policy, a little bit of sincerity of purpose, a little bit of wanting to give the people the best. I believe we will be blinded by that light, and we'll continue to go it, and we continue to fight for it. And for me, on the 40th, or on my 40th birthday, which was on the 12th of December 2013, I made a pledge to God. I said, God, if you give me another 40 years, I will devote it to Nigeria. Sometimes I look at myself and I regret that I made that pledge, but I'm somebody that when I say something, even if I want to die, I will die doing it. And like, why didn't I say 10 years? So that after 2 years now I can say, no, but I gave that 40 years because God has been good to me. If you guys know where I'm coming from, some of these things I just keep them at the back of my mind. I went through hell. You know, I didn't know I was going to be emotional with this. I went through hell living in Nigeria. You know what it is? In all my years of growing, from like the age of 12, 13 up till I was like 20, or maybe, I didn't have new clothes. I had to make do with whatever anybody gave me. I used rag for menses. It was when I was going to university. My mom said it would be too shameful for me to be using rag as my this day, and she was able to buy Dr. Brown pad. That was the first time I had a pad. That was 1992. How old was I then? That was 1992. I was going to the university. For you to know how. So when I see poverty, we will sit like this, we will not be able to eat. I remember my father going to, don't be bothered about me. I'm the kind of person, I live my life. If I feel pain, I'm going to cry. If I'm happy, I'm happy. That's the way I am. I remember my father going to, we had not eaten all day, and my mom was telling my father that go and borrow money from your sister so that we could eat. My father went to his sister, he couldn't borrow money, he couldn't ask her. This was my father that was the breadwinner of the family. My father they had things before everything crashed. That's the way we were brought up. Even though we were hungry, we would stay from morning till night without food. We will never collect food from anybody. And I'm glad I got that upbringing. That's the reason why whenever they dangled in front of me, I said, me, what are you going to give me? When I needed help was when I was begging people. 1991, I was begging people for textbook. This is a tears of freedom. Because since that October 2020, I've been broken. All the atrocities that keep happening, it breaks me up. 1992, I was begging people, please give me textbook. Nobody did. Just said, give me. I will tell them, I say, well, I will get A. I will get A in chemistry. I will get A in physics. I just need books to read. Nobody. If my father didn't sacrifice everything he had, my father didn't have money. The moment that's why I'm so passionate about financial literacy. When you started seeing me teaching financial literacy, because that was what helped us. The shares my father bought, the passive income was what he used to pay my school fees. My father had nothing, but they made sure I went to school. That's why I have this voice. Without education, you guys will know me. You will hear about me. I don't want my husband to call me because he knows I'm always so emotional. He actually always watching me because sometimes I'm so broken. The day that the train attack happened, I literally felt like killing myself. I had to go on a space, this thing. I couldn't even stay alone with my thoughts because I watched that girl the night before. You know, when she said, please, please pray for me, they've shot me. And the people were saying horrible things. And I remember typing on top of her message, I said, by the grace of God, you'll be okay. I prayed. And then I woke up the following morning. And I went to Twitter. The first thing I saw was that they said she died. I lost it. I just feel like, what was the essence of life? Because I have survivor's guilt. When people die, I always ask myself, why was it not me that died? Why is it somebody else? Or like when people are happy and saying that, oh, thank God it wasn't me, I'm always like, why is it somebody else? God, are you punishing me? Are you keeping me so that mine will be so worse? And so I was broken. I had to quickly open space, and I was just crying. I was just heaving. I couldn't. I was telling people, look, I couldn't stay with myself. So I know that. So it's really crazy. But you know what? We will get that Nigeria. When I think of what sometimes I can't even think. When I think of what I went through, ABU Zaria, I was looking for admission, 1992. That's why I hate I hate connection. I don't do people. I say I don't do that thing. That's why I fight for every Nigerian so that you'll be able to walk in there and get that thing that you're looking for. No, that was 1994. I was looking for admission into ABU Zaria. I would come every morning. We were coming from Kano. I would come from Kano. We didn't have money. My parents would look for that money. Put me away. This thing. I would come, I won't get admission, I will go back. I will come, I won't get admission, I will go back. At one time, they didn't have money again, so I had to get somebody. There was a lady, and I agreed. I was staying with them. Habiba. I was staying in their house. Their parents were coming into the weather. Every morning, I will now go to ABU Zaria. I will stand at the door. Sometimes they will drive me away. I've always been somebody who is bold. If you like, I will look at you. And that's how I walk. I always say, what's the worst thing you can do to me? I say, hey. I was less than 10 when I said to myself, I don't have tissue here. I really need a tissue. When I said to myself that the worst thing any human being can do to me, right, is to kill me. And that is not the worst thing because I'm going to die anyway. And so that's the freedom I have. Anytime, even when I'm going for a match, I'm like, what's the worst thing? They will kill me. Am I not going to die before? So, So even as I don't fear people, I respect people. I will walk into your office. The VC, will enter his office. They will drive me. I will go to Posta. They will drive me. I will go to academic. They will drive me. Every day I kept coming. I made friends with almost all the cleaners, all this thing, and all this. And I'm a very respectful person, even up to today. But it's just that when you look for my trouble, I will go after you and tell you things. But I'm always like, you see me very quiet and everything. And I'm trying to make it fair. Everybody told me I won't get that admission. Everybody told me. I said, I won't get admission. Oh Lord, I'm so emotional. Everybody. That's why when they tell me that Nigeria will not work, I say, all my life, I've always been told I will not get something. I've always been told this will not work, and I've never believed it. And I've put in all my effort, and it always came true. And that's why for me, Nigerian project is something I believe in, and I know we're going to get to that end of the tunnel, and it's going to blind our eyes with the brightness and the light we're going to see. They kept telling me first list came out, second list, supplementary list, every list, GAMG list, VC's list, whatever list, we all coming and I will go in the morning. I will see somebody with less results than my own. They will pass with their parents or their guidance. And we give them admission. Me, my result is good. Nobody was giving me. I kept going. I think at one time, even when I finally got that admission. It was almost, people couldn't believe it. And I got the medicine because I ended up not reading the medicine, right? It was my parents that wanted medicine. Me, if I had, like I was saying, political science or sociology is what I would have read. And so I got the admission. They gave me 100 levels instead of 200 levels because I had done IGMB, I did A levels. So I went back and said, sir, I remember going to the academic secretary, AU so I would never forget that man. I said, sir, they gave me 100 levels. I'm supposed to be in 200 levels. I did IGMB, see my result, everything. He checked it. They were like, yeah, this is good result and everything. It was on a Friday. He was going for Friday mosque. And he said, okay. He brought out a plain sheet of paper. Every time I'm all messed up, right? My nose is running. Sometimes when I think about my childhood, I think I really need therapy because there are a lot of things that I have not yet dealt. I've been dealing with some of them. But you know, when you're fighting for survival, you keep things aside. You just be going. So he now came. He brought out the plain sheet, and he wrote, no, he just signed at the bottom. He signed at the bottom and he dated it, and they said, go and write what you want on top. So I took that paper. I can't make mistake on that paper, right? And I wrote it. This thing of this thing that from level 1 to level. That's how I started. Everybody was shocked. They had come far. Did you got the admission paper? Yeah, I started level 2. 1994. I was supposed to graduate 1998 as a medical student. But then I was always sick, and then they closed down ABU for 1 year. So when they closed down ABU for 1 year, I just went to BUK and I started level 2 again. After about 2 years, my mates were now in final year at that time. I didn't say anything, I just started. By the time they opened ABU, I was already level 3 or so. I didn't want to go. My father, I just said to my father, I will finish reading the microbiology. They didn't give me medicine in BUK. I said I'll finish reading the microbiology, then I'll go and do medicine, which I never did anyway. Because I really didn't like the whole being a doctor and all of that. And so here we are. So sorry, please. This is how I am, honestly. Like I always say to people, my inside always match my ass. If I'm pained inside, you see it on my face. If I'm happy, I'm happy. And I'm a very emotional person. I don't keep my emotions away. I deal with them. I love them if they come. And I'm okay with being weak. And I'm strong. I can be strong. I can be weak. Little things can weaken me, especially when I say injustice, people being treated anyhow. So don't bother about me. But I'm really happy that I had this cry, because I've held it back since October 2020. I have the crying, but it's just so much pain. But I woke up this morning and I just had that beauty that I've heard about Nigeria, our national anthem and all of that. And this was not supposed to be as long as this, honestly. What I was supposed to do was a 3-minute video, but I think I'll do this one as a premiere. So every one of you, let me say to you, I messed up. Thank God I don't even wear makeup. Otherwise my face would have been running by now. So the kukuma knows no any makeup. It go well. It will be well. We won't continue like this. Nigeria will not continue like this. People will not suffer like this. People will not be killed like animals. People will not be killed. People are suffering. If you interact with people, you see how people are suffering. People are barely surviving. We will not be like animals in this country. We have a country that we'll be proud of. And we have good quality education, especially that public education, so that everybody will have access. Education is the easiest way to break the shackle of poverty. It's a leveler. It will take you from nothing and bring you up. And so we need to have good public primary and secondary school for people to have that distance. We need to have life in Nigeria, development, and we can do it. And I thank you, every Nigerian, that you're working hard to ensure that we succeed. Peter Obi, this is not just about you. This is about millions of Nigerians. If you see, this is all of us. And I like that sentence he said, we are all running for president through him, through you. Peter Obi, you know everything. I say this, please. There's so much riding on this. If we're able to get into office, we will do everything we can to get you into that office. Remember the people. Work for the people. Raise the Nigerian person. You can do so much in 4 years. You can do so much in 8 years. And Nigerians are ready to rally. Even if we have to suffer a bit, we know that you can't get things working. Things are so messed up. For us, we need to tighten our belt. We need to reduce a lot of expenses. We need to cut down a lot of things. There are sacrifices that will be made. We'll be ready to make that sacrifice. At least let's see that we are going in the right direction. Not this one, everything. We believe. Let Nigeria work. Let Nigeria be the winner. It won't be you that will be the winner, Nigeria. That's, for me, that's it. That is the biggest thing. And for every Nigerian, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Those of you that are marching today, Lagos, everywhere, London, everywhere, thank you. Nigerian youth, every time I say to you guys, I apologize. We failed you. I'm one of those generations that failed you. We were broken. Not many of us had the opportunity to have a voice. You guys have a voice. We're thankful for that, and you're using it for Nigeria, using it to free yourselves. will wake up when you'll be telling your children that Nigeria was once bad and they will not know, because the country that they will meet by the grace of God will be an amazing country. And let's put in the work. Thank you very much. This wasn't supposed to be emotional, but yeah, it turned out this way. Thank you so much, everyone. We can do it. Let's go. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. I know. We will cry more. These tears, we will cry. But at the end of the day, we will get to the end of the tunnel. We will come out of the tunnel. We will be blinded. We will be dazzled. We will be mesmerized. We will be lifted. Our shoulders will come up. We no longer slouch. We no longer be afraid. We no longer hide our green white passport. Everywhere we'll come out and tell people we are Nigerians and we are great people. Thank you.